Now, if you've been following my channel, you know I reviewed my share of Tiger Lake laptops, the 11th gen CPUs from Intel here for 2020. I just took delivery of the Lenovo Yoga 9i. It's a 14-inch 2-in-1 convertible running the Intel Core i7 1185G7. It's a little bit more stepped up in terms of performance. Of course, it also has the integrated XE graphics, which, as I mentioned earlier in other videos, is a definite step up in performance when it comes to graphics over last year's Intel Iris Plus graphics. Throwing in a 4K UHD display that is absolutely gorgeous and an all-new design. Now, I have the all-new shadow black color, which is absolutely gorgeous. Leather cover on the outside, glass on the interior. We'll get into that and more in this review. Hey everybody, it's Andrew, and this is my review of the all-new Lenovo Yoga 9i, the 14-inch 2-in-1 convertible here for late 2020. Coming up. Want to see more videos like this? Why not hit that subscribe button and make sure you hit that notification bell. This way you'll be alerted every time I upload a new video. And make sure you follow me on my social media, especially Twitter and Instagram. It's on those platforms I post the updates. And why not check out my Discord server? It's a great place for us to hang out and talk tech. Link will be in the description below. And today's video is brought to you by all the members who contributed this month to the channel. Want to become a member? Hit that join button below. And in the interest of transparency and full disclosure, I'm not being paid by Lenovo, I'm not being sponsored by Lenovo. All the opinions you're about to hear are my own, and no one is seeing this video before its release. This review unit is on loan from Lenovo, and once this review is done, I'll be sending it back. Pricing starts at $1,099.99. Price as tested with my review unit, $17.99 US. I'll put the link below for more information and where you can buy one. And with specs and pricing out of the way, let's find out what you get inside the box. Let's open it up. Inside the box is a 65-watt USB-C power adapter with an extension cord. Now, lifting the lid, you're greeted by the unit itself. We'll get to that in just a moment, but you get some documentation and some care information on the leather cover. Of course, I have the shadow black with that leather cover. We'll get into that in just a little bit. You get some safety and warranty information as well as a setup guide. Now, holding the unit for the first time, the first thing I'm struck by is how nice this design is with that leather cover, giving it a very high-end and premium look. That's not something we've seen in the past from Lenovo. I'm glad they're stepping up their game. Now, in addition to having a leather cover, when you open the lid, you're also greeted by a glass deck by the touchpad. We'll get into that a little bit, but that is a major fingerprint magnet. You will be wiping it down quite a bit, but it does give off a really nice, attractive look. Style is the name of the game, and this doesn't disappoint. And of course, let's check out the port selection. We'll start off on the left side where we get one USB-A port, two Thunderbolt 4 ports. Again, that does data charge and display out. They also support up to one 8K monitor or two 4K monitors, and you get a 3.5mm audio jack. And moving over to the right side is a power button with an LED indicator light on it, letting you know the device is powered on. Now, a couple of things to mention. There's no SD card reader, no micro SD card reader. There's no HDMI port out, just something to keep in mind, of course. And on the back is the silo that houses the pen. Now, the pen stores and charges in the device, just like we saw with the C940 last year, although this time it's located on the back. It's great for taking notes, sketching at artwork. We'll get into that in just a little bit. Now, when it comes to user upgradability, well, not really great news here. The only thing upgradable to the user is the SSD, although you do get some very good reads and writes, as you can see from these results. Now, as far as the RAM and the Wi-Fi card, they're both soldered into the motherboard and are not user upgradable. But it is Wi-Fi 6, which makes Wi-Fi 6 more future-proof, of course, and that will be good for the foreseeable future. And the display is absolutely gorgeous. What we're looking at is a 14-inch UHD 4K display. That means it has a resolution of 3840 by 2160. That also means that it has a 16:9 aspect ratio. Kind of wish they went to a 16:10 aspect ratio, much like Dell did with their XPS line, but not this year, at least not with the Lenovo Yoga line. Now, as far as this display is concerned, you get some really deep blacks, some very vibrant colors that really pop off the display. It also has really good color accuracy, and it also covers the color gamut really nicely. nicely. 100% sRGB, 81% Adobe RGB, 83% of the DCI P3 wide color gamut, and 76% NTSC, making this an excellent choice for content creators when it comes to Lightroom, Photoshop, and of course, video editing. You get some excellent contrast, great viewing angles. This is an excellent display for a really nice 2-in-1. Now, this is a Dolby Vision HDR display. That means you're going to get a really nice enhanced experience when it comes to consuming media. Watching things such as Netflix, Amazon, YouTube is superb on this display. It's also a very bright display coming in at 474 nits, making this a good choice for both indoor and outdoor use. Although it is a glossy display, you may get some glare or reflections in direct sunlight, something to keep in mind. Now you're looking at some pretty slim bezels, although there is a bit of a chin on the bottom. Not too pronounced, not too bad for a 2-in-1. I've seen worse. And on the top, there's a reverse notch, which gives you not only a latch to open this lid up with your finger, but it also houses the hardware for the webcam. And they love the fact that there's a physical shutter switch allowing you to turn off the webcam. Now, speaking of the webcam, let's check it out. So this is the front-facing camera on the all-new Lenovo Yoga 9i 14-inch. This is the shadow black. This has the leather cover, glass touchpad area. Really, actually very nice so far. Very impressed with the design, with the performance so far of that 11th Gen Tiger Lake. 720p, 30 frames per second webcam, not infrared, no Windows Hello login with that camera. Something to keep in mind. It does have a fingerprint scanner that is Windows Hello compatible, works well. But I want to know what you think. Let me know in the comment section below. Good for Zoom, good for Skype, whatever you need for your work from home needs. Does it work for you? Let me know. Now, unfortunately, the webcam is not an infrared webcam. That means you cannot log in with face recognition with Windows Hello, but the fingerprint scanner is Windows Hello compatible, registering my finger each and every time I used it, working really well. Now, this being a 2-in-1 convertible means you can put it into the tent mode. This is great for recipes in the kitchen, consuming media, watching Netflix, Amazon, YouTube. The same can be said for the stand mode. And of course, you could always put it into the tablet mode, great for use with the pen. Now, unfortunately, this is a little bit on the heavy side at 3.02 pounds. It definitely is not the best when it comes to tablet for long-term use, although if you use it on a table or a desk, you'll be perfectly fine. And then speaking of the pen, it uses the Wacom AES technology. It has 4,096 levels of pressure sensitivity. It stores and charges in the device, and it also is great for taking notes and sketching out artwork. I like the fact that it does store in the device, which is a great convenience factor. You don't have to worry about storing the pen. Now, when it comes to the audio, this thing is fantastic, and that's thanks to that rotating soundbar with Dolby Atmos speaker system, 2 subwoofers, 2 tweeters, and of course, when using the webcam, there are 2 webcam mics. The sound is actually really good, filling up a room rather nicely. That rotating soundbar gives you really nice bass, good mids, the really good volume. It does a great job in terms of the audio. And when it comes to the touchpad, there's no physical click. It's just like the MacBook with a haptic engine that gives you haptic feedback. And I thought it worked okay, giving you 2-finger scrolling, which is buttery smooth, and all the Windows 10 gestures worked as advertised. I think they did a pretty decent job. Now, when it comes to the keyboard, I thought the key travel was pretty good. It also had pretty good tactile feedback, comfortable to type on for extended periods of time. It has that familiar smile-shaped keys we've come to know with the Lenovo Yoga line. It also has a multi-stage backlight that allows you to get work done in a dark room or a dimly lit environment. I think it worked really well. Now, this is the first opportunity I've had a chance to check out the Tiger Lake processor, the 11th Gen processor. This is the Core i7 1185G7. That's a step up from the one we just saw with the Dell XPS 13 2-in-1. This is the top of the line Tiger Lake, so to speak, and you can see the definite bump in performance when it comes to the numbers, as you can see from these results when you look at these benchmarks. Now, as far as gaming is concerned, you definitely see a little bit more improvement in terms of the gaming, especially because this has the integrated XE graphics, a definite bump in terms of performance when you compare it to last year's Intel Iris Plus graphics. Definitely playable frame rates when it comes to titles such as GTA 5, The Witcher 3, Dota 2 Reborn. I think you get the picture. Now, when I ran the Prime 95 stress test, it would turbo boost up to 4.8 gigahertz in terms of the clock speed with a core temperature of 96 degrees Celsius. That would last for about 30 seconds and then drop down to about 3 gigahertz to stabilize at a more cool 83 degrees Celsius. So you will notice some thermal throttling, but not too bad. But again, any thin and light laptop will thermal throttle to prevent overheating. Now, it does have dual fans to help with cooling, and I didn't find that the fan noise was terribly obnoxious or too loud. I thought it was relatively quiet considering the power this packs under the hood. I thought they did a decent job with the fan noise. And here are the surface temperatures when you put it under heavy load. You'll notice that it does get a bit warm by the keyboard, and on the bottom towards the top, you will notice that the heat does accumulate there. Now, when it comes to the battery, you're looking at a 60 watt-hour battery, and it did 7 hours and 46 minutes on my continuous web surfing test over Wi-Fi at 150 nits. And that, of course, is with this UHD 4K display, which, of course, will use more power as it eats more pixels. Now, if you want better battery life, go with the full HD option. That will give you a nice display, but with better longevity. Now, as far as 7 hours and 46 minutes with this 4K display, not too bad. Now, they do supply you with a 65 watt USB-C power adapter, and it took about an hour and 45 minutes for a full charge, and that's pretty good. All right, let's bring it all home. What do I think of this all-new Lenovo Yoga 9i 14 with the shadow black color? And I absolutely love it. I like its fresh new look with its stylish design, a mixture of aluminum, leather, and glass. A nice, bold new look from Lenovo here, not something we normally see from them. I like the fact that the pen stores and charges in the device, a great convenience factor. I like its gorgeous 4K 14-inch display that gets really bright. It's sharp, it's vibrant, it's a Dolby Vision display. I also like the Thunderbolt 4 support that this has. It also has USB 4 support as well. It's got integrated XE graphics that are a definite boost over last year's Iris Plus graphics, as you saw from the numbers. Decent battery life for 4K display. I got 7 hours and 46 minutes. And of course, I love the sound coming out of that rotating sound bar. Really nice speaker system. Now, the negatives here, no SD card reader. The RAM, the wireless LAN are not user upgradable, and the glass palm rest is a major fingerprint magnet. None of those are deal breakers by any stretch, ladies and gentlemen. I think Lenovo has hit a definite home run with this offering. I'm going to give this a score of 92%, making the Lenovo Yoga 9i 14 in shadow black definitely worth your money. So what do you think about this bad boy, the Yoga 9i 14-inch 2-in-1 convertible? But first off, the design is really bold. I really like what Lenovo's doing here with this leather cover. It's really very premium feeling, and I'm curious to see how it will hold up over time. And as you know, with leather, the longer you go, the more you use it, the better it looks. And I'm guessing that is the case with this. Now, inside, of course, is a glass touchpad area or deck, and it is a major fingerprint magnet. You will be wiping it down quite a bit. Not the lightest 2-in-1 convertible at 3.02 pounds, but definitely portable enough to take with you on the go. The other thing you want to know about this is that it has 2 USB 4/Thunderbolt 4 ports. And again, the benefits of having Thunderbolt 4, you can drive 1 8K monitor or 2 4K monitors. And of course, they do data charge and display out. Now, the missing ports, of course, as I mentioned, no micro SD card slot, no HDMI port, but then again, you have the 2 Thunderbolt 4 ports for those needs with a dongle, of course. Now, as far as the performance, we're looking at the Intel Core i7 1185G7, a little bit more stepped up in terms of the Tiger Lake performance. Integrated XE graphics, obviously a much better performance boost in terms of graphics over last year's Intel Iris Plus graphics. The numbers showed that this is a very capable laptop. Decent thermals. You will notice some thermal throttling, which of course is to be expected with any thin and light laptop. Battery life is pretty decent for a 4K display. Of course, having that 4K display will drive more pixels, will use more power. I got 7 hours and 46 minutes, of course, on my continuous web surfing test. Not too bad for a 4K display. If you need more longevity, opt for the full HD display. It's also an HDR Dolby Vision display, as is this 4K display. Now, of course, one of the best parts of this laptop is its audio. That's thanks to that rotating sound bar that you see here. It's a little bit glossy, a little bit more shiny, a little bit more pizzazz. Great in all the different modes. You still get the benefit of that rotating sound bar. You got other speakers as well. You got tweeters, 2 subwoofers, really enhanced sound with this. One of the best on the Windows side of things. But I'm curious to know what you think. Let me know in the comment section below. What do you think of the Yoga 9i 14, a worthy successor to last year's C940, one of my favorites. This is pretty good. Now, of course, on the back is the silo that houses the pen. The pen uses the Wacom AES technology, 4,096 levels of pressure sensitivity. It also stores and charges in the device. 15 minutes gets you about 80% charge. Really good. Great for taking notes, sketching out artwork. Really came through with this. So please hit the like button. Please subscribe. Please share this video. Don't forget to leave a comment in the comment section below. Let me know how I'm doing. Let me know if there's a device or something out there you think I should review. I'll do my best to try to make that happen. Don't forget to check me out on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and of course my website, amdtechreviews.com. So until next time, this is Andrew from AMD Tech. See ya.